Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Mike Rossi here with the MJR and Friends podcast. Let's do it.
Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. You are being recorded.
And literally, when I tell you 3 days, I'm just.
So long to do something like
go.
Whoa.
I would tell that person to just do it.
All right, welcome in, MJR and Friends. That's the new intro.
I love that.
That's brand spanking new on iMovie. Shout out to iMovie because I'm not. Anyway, we got my friend Rob Santos. Rob, how you doing, my man?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right.
And just to tell everyone a little bit about Rob, Rob is the owner of RFS Visuals. He is a photographer, videographer. He's amazing at what he does, and you got to check out his links below. And let's pop those up right here: Instagram at RFS Visuals and Facebook RFS Visuals. And so Rob, tell us about yourself, man. Where are you from? Your background? Why do you do what you do?
So I am from Cranston, Rhode Island. And my background would be growing up, I did a lot of sports. I was very athletic. And it kind of translated into high school and into college when I played sports. And then throughout my whole life, I kind of loved the fitness world, and I was very involved in there. And throughout high school, I think it was freshman year, I wanted to be better than I was, in middle school. So I lost 50 pounds my first year of high school because I wanted to. That was like my stepping stone. Like these are bigger kids. They're going to be faster than me, stronger than me. So I lost weight, and that was like the start of my fitness journey. So that came down into the rabbit hole of me watching YouTube videos, learning about personal training, learning about sports, learning about athletic training, all of those things. So after high school, I go to URI for kinesiology. And in college, I was going strong, loved it. I loved learning about it. I loved doing everything and anything fitness. 1 year I got hurt. I forget what year that was. And I had to stop, lifting the way I was. And then that kind of brought my passion down a bit because I couldn't do what I loved for so long. And throughout the last 2 years or so of college, I kind of was holding on to becoming a personal trainer and whatnot. And right when I got out of college, I tried it and I just didn't love it anymore. And that brought me to Best Buy. Best Buy was that, that middle ground job where I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I just went there just because it was a job. And, I'm surrounded by tech and everything. And, I messed around with cameras and all these things. And one day I wanted to pick up a camera, and I met these kids that wanted to do the same thing. We both kind of came together and made some videos and everything. I invested in a camera after that. And since then, as soon as I picked up that camera, bro, I loved it. I loved creating things that people would enjoy. I loved seeing people's emotion or anything when it comes to, like, if you're watching a movie and people are crying, people are laughing, people are sad, happy, frustrated, anything like that gave me a different feeling than anything else before. And I knew it was a passion of mine. So then I pursued it, and now I'm here, and now I'm a photographer, videographer.
Let's go back to when you talked about fitness and your goals as a personal trainer, and with injuries and everything that happened to you. What was the hardest part mentally, and how did you get through that mental challenge of, okay, maybe I'm not going to lean towards the training part. I'm going to go more into photography video because my body can't do it. So what was the challenge with that? What was the hardest part about that?
So when I got hurt, I tried to hold on to something that I know now that was not something I could have done mentally and physically. So those last 2 years of college, mind you, I'm fortunate enough that my parents helped me out and paid for my college and, you know, helped me go that route. And they're paying for my college that in my head, I'm like, and I don't think I can use this degree. And it's pretty much money's going down the drain because I'm in my head 2 years in, I'm like, I'm not even gonna use this degree. So I fought through it. I had a very down year my sophomore year of college. No, my freshman year of college. I lived there in the dorms. Had to leave after my first semester because I had an anxiety attack and I couldn't be there because I'm a person that like it's I can live with people I know, but I was living with someone that I didn't know who he was or anything. They were messy, all these things. So I had an anxiety attack and came back home, lived at home for the next semester, then moved out the next year with a friend. So that was better. But again, with the fitness, that ate me alive for 2 years. My parents were always like, "You looking for jobs? You looking for jobs when you come out? You looking for jobs when you come out?" And in my head, I'm like trying to hold on and really like, okay, maybe I'll like to do it tomorrow. Maybe next semester after these new classes, I'll enjoy it more. But it just kept fading away. And I love fitness. Don't get me wrong. I'm a big fitness fan. I love
Biggest
working out.
struggles I've ever seen.
I love it. But like the personal training aspect, kind of taking care of someone else when I can barely take care of myself because of my injury or because I'm slacking here, and here, I would have had to be on my A game to really, you know, I don't want to give someone, 50% or I personally can't do a squat. So I'm trying to teach this person how to do a squat, but I can't even do one. So like that mindset kind of ate at me for a while. And when I got out of college, I took the exam to become a personal trainer, and I failed by 2 points. Mind you, I just went to college for 4 years and for kinesiology. So when I took the exam, I was like, oh, I don't need to study. I just did this for 4 years. Like, there's no way I don't know all of these answers. And I failed by 2 points. And then after that, that kind of was like the point where I was like, this isn't for me. If I go 4 years learning about all of this and I can't pass this exam, I don't think I should do it. So then after that, I felt a lot of pressure from my parents, which I should have, because they wanted me to do what I just did 4 years of kinesiology, and they wanted me to pursue it. And I paid another, like, I don't know how much it was. It was like $200 or $300 to retake the test. And by the second test, that's when I grabbed my camera and I was like, I'm not even going to go take this test. I'm going to go full 100% with this, with photo and video. So that's what I did.
What was taking pictures once you got through the hurdle, like I know for me DJing, like I'll go downstairs, especially during the pandemic, which we'll cover in a few minutes, but like I'd go downstairs and literally just put the mixer out and I'd look up and it was 3 hours later and I'm like, whoa, I just been DJing to myself, entertaining myself, pretending there's a crowd for like 3 hours. And it was like therapeutic. Is photography, has that become that? Especially, I know you obviously still work out and you take great care of yourself, but would you consider taking pictures now? Do you ever just go out and go into nature and just start taking pictures? And is there a therapeutic aspect to photography and making that change from a more fitness based lifestyle that you wanted to doing photography?
Yes, it's very, very therapeutic to just go outside and take pictures and videos and create something. the winter's kind of like especially in New England, especially Rhode Island, the winter's kind of hard because, you know, one day it could be rainy, one day it could be snowing, one day it could be 60, and then the next day I'm stuck inside in a blizzard. Like it's difficult during the winter for sure. And this is kind of my first winter where I was full time. So it was a bit slower. And on top of that, there's a pandemic. So, you know, it's hard to really do anything. But I made it work, and it's a different feeling for when you have an idea and you go execute it and you make exactly what you had in your head. Say I want to do a commercial, I go shoot that commercial, and it's exactly how I wanted it. It's a very different feeling. And a lot of it doesn't feel like work. Like if I go to I've done 5 weddings so far, and by the third or fourth wedding, it's like it's fun at that point. The first 2 are anxious, are stressful, because you don't know if you're getting the audio. You don't know if your camera's gonna, you know, die or anything. Like it's just, there's a lot of uncertainties. And after the third and fourth one, it's like you just go there, you shoot, you make you get great stuff, and it just, you know, it clicked, and it's just fun at that point. I love emotion, and I love capturing emotion, and that's one of the things that really led me down this road is capturing emotion in pictures and in videos.
What are some ways you learn about photography? Is there books that you read? Is there videos that you watch that, you know, someone takes a picture a certain way, it captures a certain emotion? What are some of the ways that you become better at the craft?
Mm-hmm. So one way would be YouTube. There's anything and everything on
Free
YouTube.
University.
I learned probably 90% of what I know from YouTube, and then I put it into practice. So YouTube, and then from there, you know, you follow these certain people, you really like their styles, and they offer some ebooks. I bought some ebooks from certain people that I knew would offer a lot of beneficial advice and things that they don't already put on their YouTube. And then also networking. I have a studio with 3 other creators, photo, video creators, and they've all taught me so much. And especially if you surround yourself with people who do different types of photo, video work. One can do product photography, product videos, lifestyle videos. There's so many like avenues to this, and you know, me watching them do a product video or go out with them and do a lifestyle shoot, you can learn all those avenues, and there's just little things that are so different. And then, you know, you can put them all together and come up with something great. But networking, YouTube, ebooks are hard. You have to really, you know, follow the person that you're getting it from, and make sure that it's going to be beneficial to you. And be confident about it. Some people just buy any ebook they can, and some of them are just, you know, they just put their YouTube or put their social medias into this thing, and then you buy it, and like you could just find it online. Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's basically what I've learned from.
Let's because you brought up weddings, and yeah, weddings can obviously be super. I mean, that's someone's day.
Oh my God, dude! I know.
Day. I'll never forget doing my first wedding. I was like shaking everything I did. And obviously it got easier. And as like you said, it became fun. And weddings are the best, but everyone has a process. And when you have a couple who hires you or uses you, what is your process to doing a great, and I'm just specifically wedding, like a great shoot? What is your process behind it? What research goes into it? What questions are you asking these couples to get a feel for a great shot?
So video is a little bit different because you want to capture candid stuff and not so much set stuff. So photographers will get the family and do pictures one by one. And then I kind of want to get, in my style, I do very candid and very cinematic stuff. I want to get them not kind of structured, and I don't want them to just stand there and smile and because that's for the pictures. I like to be different from the photographer because they're not gonna. I don't want them to pay for me and him to come, or me and them to come, and then they just get me videotaping what the videographer's doing. And that's what I had to figure out after like my first or second wedding too, because that's what I did because it was easy, and I tried to differ from what the photographer is doing or build on top of what they're doing. But some questions I would ask are, who's in the party? Who do you really want to be in the videos? I know one of my weddings, they wanted their aunt's children or something in there because they don't see them that often. So they wanted them in the video. And I just ask what they want in the video and, how long, and if they want the speeches in there, because speeches can be hit or miss. Some are really, really good and some, kind of flop because the person is scared or the person is very,
the best line from a speech is, I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but I'm going to do it. It's like, all right, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, every time.
So it's in the editing process. If they want the speeches, it's kind of tough because I have to give my full reign to them because they're paying me and it's their day. I'm gonna take the creative control, but they're gonna tell me, I want this in there. Try to make it work. But speeches, dances, everything that highlights that wedding day. Ceremony, some people want the ceremony in it because it's very symbolic. Some people don't. Some people just want the kiss and the vows, which is, in my personal opinion, better for a highlight video. I also offer like a full ceremony video as well on top of it, full ceremony dancing and speech video on the side, because that doesn't really I don't have to take too much time out of my day to do that extra. So I just give it to them anyways. But other questions, that would probably be it. I've had pretty much everyone tell me, have this person in it. I want the speeches, I want dances, and then, just go, just do whatever you want, which is the best because I don't have to stress too much about missing specific things. I just have to create, the best I can. Which is a lot. It's stress free. So
they give you like a basis.
Yeah.
Like a template that you can edit.
Yep. I'll email them or text them like a month before. So say I get a deposit and I get a booking now in March and I don't have a wedding till October. I'll like kind of periodically say, hey, what's up? How's the wedding going? How's the planning going? And then I won't get details for the actual wedding till probably like 2 to 4 weeks before.
Wow.
Because in my head, I don't need it that long ahead of time. And I just need to kind of separate each wedding and give it, I only need 2 weeks to decide what we're going to do and how it's going to be run, because anything more than that is kind of you forget things and kind of just makes the process a little bit longer.
Let's go into last year. It's already been a year. It's nuts, but COVID and for almost everyone can say that they had a bad experience during COVID, whether they lost someone, whether they lost their job, or just the fact of not being able to be around people. You started your business and you went full time with what you do during a pandemic.
Yeah.
And shockingly, a lot of people did that, and everyone's reason is definitely different. So talk about that process of, the mindset. Why am I going to do this now during a pandemic where no events are happening? And thankfully events are starting to happen in the rest of 2021. I can't, I'm losing my mind. But what was the thought process by you saying, I'm going to start a business right now with no events, nothing's happening. We're going to do this right now. So what made you do that? Why did you do it?
So in March or April, I got furloughed from Best Buy, and for I don't know however many months, it was 3 to 4 months. We were all on furlough. No one was pretty much working. Only the very essential businesses were open. So I was just sitting there. I mean, everyone pretty much got free money. And, you know, we weren't doing anything, and everyone was getting paid. And I saved a lot of money. And you know, money brings opportunities. And I'm fortunate enough to also have parents that help me out a lot. And I always give credit to them when I can. And they have given me a lot. So they always, you know, I've gotten opportunities because they help me in certain, you know, financial reasons and financial ways. So throughout that whole time, I was saving my money and everything. And then I went back to Best Buy for a couple months. And there was a mixture of my realization of this. I don't want to do this ever again, working retail, because I was working at the peak of like the very stressful, everyone was coming in, everyone was scared about the pandemic still, like very, very scared. And no one wanted to, everyone kind of was meaner in a way because everyone was more stressed, everyone was anxious, and they wanted to take it out on some people. And over that couple months, just a lot of complaining. And in my head, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I think personally, everyone should do jobs that suck because they realize that they don't want to do those jobs. And I work right now like I do because I don't want to work retail. And
say it again.
I personally think
Louder.
I personally think that everyone should work at a restaurant and or retail.
Yeah.
Because that'll show them that you never want to do it again in your life. I mean, you learn a lot of good values as well. I learned a bunch of values with hard work and everything, especially working in the warehouse. And a lot of good people there helped me out, and you know, really appreciated how hard I work. So that made me a little bit more confident, especially working and knowing my worth. And retail is just, I was lucky enough to work in the warehouse, but like when I help people out, it's just some people are really rude, and some people don't care about your emotions, your well-being. They just care about themselves. That's just how the world is. And retail and working in restaurants is how you really, really find that out, because you could be a waiter or waitress and you get no tips, but you're working your butt off to, you know, feed these people and get these people what they want. And then they're like telling, you know, it's just a bad time. And you really have to have thick skin to do those jobs for a long time. But getting back to the point, I was sick of that area that I was in, and I just wanted to pursue my passion. And throughout my whole life, I've always struggled with pursuing a passion and getting a real job. And I wanted to mesh the two together. I was 23, 24, and I knew what I wanted. I know about my financials. I know about a lot of the back end stuff. I know what I want to do. And I also met a lot of people as well that did the same thing. And it just kind of worked out. I saw the opportunity in front of me, and I tried to take the leap instead of being scared, which I've done in my life. And I took the risk, and it paid off. I've got more jobs. I got more weddings. I was living on Facebook trying to, you know, get more weddings. And I networked with a lot of people. I talked to a lot of realtors. I talked to a lot of friends that have businesses. I made a lot of free videos. If you are in the photography and videography world, start off with making free videos. I've gotten so many clients from just making one free video for, you know, a person that hit me up in the DMs and said, can you make a video like that? And I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And then I got 2 regular clients I still have right now from that. So definitely make
3.
What's up?
You're going to have 3.
3.
Yeah, if you include me.
Oh yeah, there we go.
That's a great piece of advice. I think a lot of people come into business and they want to make money right away. What I was explaining to someone the other day, something I learned. I forgot where I learned it from, to be honest with you. Probably YouTube. Is it really about the? I'm just using a random number. Is it really about charging $4,000 to do photography at a wedding, make videos, and get that once, or is it worth it to build the customer and the relationship where you have that customer for years and years and years in a lifetime?
Mhm.
And I think a lot of people skip that. A lot of people just want the money now.
Yeah, I agree. I would rather have a client for 12 months to 5 years to however, like become a friend with this person, give them a good enough deal where I am getting paid enough and they are getting enough value, and then just getting it long term, um, and becoming it's just networking at that point and becoming friends. I'd much rather do that than pay 4,000, have no communication, give them a video. It's a great video, and then I'm on with my day. So I like to create relationships. That's what's huge in having your own business, is creating relationships, and always trying to give as much value as you can, because like I said before, I made a video for someone for free. They posted it, and then one of his friends saw it, hit me up, and I still work with them to this day. So it's just you gotta use leverage, when it comes to networking and the possibility of getting eyes on your product or your service, instead of if I charged them $100, it wouldn't have it wouldn't have maybe he wouldn't have showed it to this kid, or maybe he would have took that 100, paid me the 100 and then never talked to me again, because so
You made the switch. A lot of people have a hard time doing that, going from the full-time job to pursuing something that they love and doing that full-time. Making that switch, how has that changed your thinking on life in general? How is making that switch to pursuing what you want to do full-time, not worrying about
mhm.
you might not have income for a month, you might not have
Yeah.
income for a couple weeks. What, how has that changed your thinking on your life, and just in general? What your daily processes, what you do, even if it's not camera, if it's your podcast, which we'll talk about in a little bit. What, how has that changed your thinking?
So there's some days and some months where, especially in the winter, and this past winter, you don't make a lot of money. You
It
have to
sucked.
you have to save, you have to manage. We're getting free money from the pandemic and the stimulus and stuff, which helps, but you still have to save, you still have to budget, and you have to keep track of everything. Not like Best Buy is not paying me and keeping track of all my financials, and I'm getting a W-2 in a year. I have to keep track of all the money that I make and everything that I pay for, and writing off everything. I have to keep track of that. And I'm fairly good with that. I love Excel and I love being organized. So I put everything in folders, and I keep everything um, very organized. But the switch is, a lot of people have consistent money coming in, and that's comfortable as well. But when you have your own business and you're getting money, I can make 5 grand in 1 month, and then 1 grand in 1 month, and I have to like take control of that, and I have to decide, like, okay, this month I have to be very conscious about what I'm spending. This month I can make a couple investments in my business and kind of try to grow that even more. So you just have to be really conscious of what you're getting in. You have to plan very, very well. You have to schedule, schedule your days, make sure you're being productive. And that was my change. When I was working at Best Buy, I would go work 9 hours, 10 hours, come home, maybe work out for 30 minutes, and then, I wouldn't pursue anything else. But when you're having your own business and your own job, and it's all dependent on you. So you have to go to a shoot, come home, edit, or what you do, you have to go to a gig, make sure you plan and have everything ready, and then come home and plan the next gig. And it's just all on you, and you're accountable. You can't hold anyone else accountable, and you have to be very organized or it won't work out. Because when I started out, I was benefiting off of a lot of networking possibilities, and people kind of text me, say, oh, do you want to help on this shoot, do you want to help on this shoot? So I was very busy when I started out. But then once like the winter came, I had to be very proficient with my time, and set schedules and set to-do lists right before I go to bed, because I would just sit at home, because I didn't have to do anything. And I could sit at home and not doing anything, and my business would just be there. But you have to really put it on yourself to make this edit, maybe get a picture from your last shoot and post it or something like that. So it's all on you. Yeah.
Wait, feast or famine? Would you say that's kind of the mindset almost?
Yeah.
Like a feast right now.
Yeah.
There's no employer there. For sure. No, I love this. Let's future it now. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So 5 years, I'm actually starting this year, and I want to do a lot of sports photography and sports videography. I want to mesh both of my passions together and do a lot of sports related stuff. And I also want to make a documentary at some point. I want to make a film at some point. But in 5 years, I really, really want to become that sports guy in Cranston and in Rhode Island and wherever I go from here. I think that's going to be my niche. And then, weddings on the side, and weddings, because it has a season, so you can really schedule out weddings. So sports and weddings pretty much is what I'm going to do for the future. And then from there, I'm not sure, 5 years after that, I mean, I could keep doing what I'm doing, hopefully do maybe a commercial for an athletic wear or something. But yeah, sports and weddings is my future right now. So
you bring up I'm looking just at the planner right now, and you bring up a good point right now, and I'd love to hear your thoughts. Because obviously things are changing, the world's changing, technology is changing. Why do you feel that photo and video are going to be so necessary going forward, and the future is bright? What are your thoughts on that?
It's marketing. It's simply marketing. Whether you want people to have eyes on your product, your service, your sport, your tournaments, your anything, it's gonna need photos and it's gonna need videos. Anything to do with the digital age is going to be have longevity right now. Graphic design, software design, website design, photo, video, anything to do with your phone, Instagram, the internet, anything that is put on there is going to be necessary. So I don't see any social medias going anywhere in the next X amount of years. I don't see them ever going anywhere. And
nowhere.
it's turning into the newspaper, television, all these things that people did for the last, 50 plus years. They're all going into one thing, and we have it ready on our phones, and everyone pretty much has a smartphone at this point. So photos and videos, 100% of the time, they're gonna be in people's hands. So I don't think it's going anywhere. I think because you can't make a robot shoot a video. Like, you can't give a robot a camera and shoot a video.
Has no emotion.
Yeah, it's not going to be creative. So
you can use that during surgery where you don't need emotion. You don't want emotion.
Yeah.
If you're trading, you can use it during trading where you don't want emotion. Mm-hmm. But to have a robot photographer or videographer or DJ, it's just, there's nothing there. Like, no.
No, I agree.
No.
That was my mindset. If a robot cannot do it, you're very essential.
Yeah.
um, so that's how I look at it. If a robot or an AI or anything, because that's where the world is going. Unfortunately, we're building these things where they do it for us. It's going to be Wally soon. I don't know if you've seen the movie Wally, but Wally's going to turn real quick.
Yep.
Um,
Uh-huh.
especially with Elon Musk at the
Yeah.
helm of the ship. But again, it's all about emotion at the end of the day, and it's all about capturing people and getting people's attention. And a robot can't do that, in my opinion. So I think it's very necessary, especially for businesses and anything else pretty much that needs photo video, that it'll keep going.
I had a few more thoughts I want to follow up with you on. Let's specifically go back to the pandemic. Tell me a time, because we all have those times, and it could be a super low, it could be a just a bad day. Tell me about a time where during the pandemic you looked at yourself in the mirror, you said to yourself, "Why am I doing this? I'm not making any like this is tough. This is I don't know if I can continue doing this."
Hmm.
What was a low during that time, or even even if you want to use before the pandemic, like tell me
Hmm.
about a time where you were like, I don't know why I did this. This isn't going to work. Tell
Yep.
us about that.
So I have very bad anxiety. I've had a very, especially in college, I was very depressed, and I went to the psychiatrist and everything, and that really helped me work on, my mindset and my mental. Uh, but I do still suffer from. I don't want to say suffer. That's a very strong word, but I do battle with anxiety. Um, Better now because I know what I want, and I know how to do it, and I'm more confident in myself. Um, but probably in college, like I said, about the uh, being at college and having my parents pay for it. And in the back of my head, I'm not going to use this degree. That was one big turning point in my life. And then during the pandemic, just during those days uh, where there was just nothing going on and you were locked inside, and being a creative person, you can't really do anything, and there's just nothing going on where it sparks your creativity. So a lot of the things now, like I'll go watch a movie or I'll go outside and I'll see some things, and I'll be like, oh, I want to make a video about that. I want to make a video about that. But when the world is literally shut down, and people are afraid to go outside, and all you hear is pandemic, death rates, these amount of people dead, riots, shooting, racism, all these things. It's like it's very, especially for an anxious person, it's a lot. And what happened was, I just didn't do anything. And you lay in bed, you sit on the couch and just feel so, you know unproductive, and it's very tiring. It got tiring. And then when jobs started open back up, and you started to do real life things, it helped a little bit. But at that point, it was a low time, and it was very slow, and it was tiring. It was just mentally tiring.
I think it's important for people to hear this, and when other people who are business owners or just people in the community talk about struggles with something, whether it's anxiety, whether it's their business, whether it's whatever it can be. I think it's so good for people to hear. Like I'm learning from you right now. Like it's so important. You're definitely influencing people. Like if you had to say something to a 15-year-old right now watching this who wants to be a photographer or wants to be
Mhm.
a videographer, um, what's one? Let's have fun. 10 words.
Oh God.
A 10-word sentence. It could be
Yeah.
less than 10 words, by the way,
Yeah.
but no more than 10 words.
Hmm.
Advice to a 16-year-old who is girl or boy who is working towards becoming a photographer or a videographer. 10 words or less.
10 words.
We'll take a commercial break.
Well, now you put me on the spot to get 10 words
That's what
out.
this is about.
Do God, do for I might just not do. Okay, so when I was 15, I would want someone to say, "Don't worry so much." And I mean, if it's specifically for a photographer or videographer, just go out there and create. Because when you're 15 and 16, you don't have too many responsibilities in terms of, the back end and the financials and everything. You have a lot more freedom in terms of, if you want to go outside and you don't have a job, you don't have a car to pay for, you don't have any of these things. So you have a lot of time to work on the future and prep yourself for what you want to do with your life. So I mean, 15, 16 years old, you're starting to think like, okay, this is what I'm going to do in high school and college. I want to work towards this. If I don't start now, I'm going to be a little bit behind. And sometimes that's the case. And what I would say is just go create and don't worry. In my opinion, we worry about school like so much. And it creates a lot of anxiety in these kids. And we need to do the best we can, and we need to instill confidence in children. And I was a basketball coach as well, and I would always say, like, you can do it. Like, shoot that ball, do this, do that. Like, just do it. You're 14, you're 15. Just like, don't be scared to shoot the ball. It's a rec league. Like, you need to find that confidence and go for that loose ball, or shoot that shot that you want to shoot, but you hesitated. And when I coach, I try to instill that in the kids as well. This generation really lacks confidence, and we need to, build on that and give them that confidence that they can do what they want to do if they really, really work for it. And it's as simple as that. It's very cliche, but if you really work hard for it, you'll be able to do it. You'll find a way to do it.
All right, let's switch it up here. Your podcast.
All right.
Let's talk about that. Tell us about your podcast.
So you can see behind me, I have, or in the blur over there,
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. No, it's Pokemon.
I know nothing.
It's all Pokemon. When I was little, I love Pokemon. I dress up as Charizard. I dress up as Pikachu. I dress up as Charmander. I love Pokemon.
Those are literally the only three I know. I'm not even Charmander.
That's why I said them, because everyone knows them. But when I was a kid, I loved it. I loved it up until a certain age. In my mind, I don't know what age that is. I can't think of it. I've been thinking about what age I stopped, collecting and playing as, but I don't remember. And then I hit that middle age where it's around high school, where everyone thinks you're a nerd for liking Pokemon. And then, go to college and after college, no one cares. So now I'm at the point where I got into the hobby again, and I've been watching the shows, the movies. I just love Pokemon. I've always been a person that, I'm not very closed-minded. So it's like, if I see something that interests me, I'm going to go try it. I'm not going to say like, I'm not going to like it. I've tried to try a lot of things. And it's really helped me out in terms of figuring out what I love to do. So Pokemon, I fell in love with it again. Again, networking with other people that do love Pokemon. My really good friend Ridge, I do that podcast with him, and we have a small little business type thing going on, and we just collect, we sell, we do all these things. And whenever I love something, I put 100% into it. So I watch videos, I watch everything to do with the back end of selling and collecting and buying packs, and the appreciation of some of the collectibles, because at the end of the day, it's a collectible, and collectibles appreciate if they have a lot of demand. And Pokemon is $100 billion company pretty much, and they're just everywhere. We don't see it that much here because it is really huge in like Japan and Asia and everything. But it's the top, I forget, the top anime industry or top, some whatever it is. It's a very good business, and it's just
Well,
I
trading,
love.
right? Card trading, is that they or
It's collecting mostly.
collecting? Yeah.
Yeah, they're collectibles. I would consider them more collectibles than trading cards at this point, but um, I
Is
just love
Pokemon
it.
Go still a thing?
I play it every day. Yeah,
Is it
I love
really?
Pokemon Go. Yeah,
I
I
remember
love
when that
it.
first came out.
Yeah,
I played.
it got everyone
That was
back into
awful.
it.
Yeah.
The reason why it's big now is because a lot of people are trying to, a lot of influencers and everything are trying to find money, things to put money in. Crypto and collectibles is pretty much on the top of the list right now. So anything collectible and anything crypto, and these are collectibles, and at the end of the day, there's a very high demand, and there's people that are trying to get into the hobby and learn about it, and that's what I want to provide. I want to provide value with trying to start out like I did, and I just learn things very quickly. I'm a quick learner, so I watch YouTube videos and talk to people, and I just I consumed information, and then I just give it to other people with my podcasts and videos that I make.
That's amazing. Before we go into the final segment, can you just plug in your links and what do you how do we find your podcast?
It is on YouTube at the Crelectors, Crelector and or RS, and that is Creative Collector. That's I just combined it together and came up with the Crelector. I thought it was good. I literally thought of that in 2 minutes and made an Instagram,
Did
and
I spell it
then
right?
yeah, but it's the Collectors, so
Oh, the
it'll
correctors.
still
All right,
work.
let's fix that.
And then it's the same on Instagram as well. We're on TikTok as well. I handle all the social medias and everything. It's just fun. That's like a fun thing where I can make some money on, enjoy it, and then have some display pieces and just have fun with it. That's what I do, and that's it. I just love Pokemon. That's the bottom line from that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, so check them out on YouTube.
It's tough. It's tough.
The Collectors.
There we go. Yeah.
Collectors. Yeah, I actually watched one of your videos early on when I saw it on Instagram.
Oh
I
yeah.
saw that. You guys, it's in Ridge. I played volleyball with him.
Oh, that's right.
I
You played
think
volleyball.
my 1 year volleyball appearance. I was awful. I sucked. It was terrible. But
That's
like
fine.
you said, I tried. I
Mhm.
didn't care what people thought.
Yeah, and then you figured out you didn't like it. That's
And I think
that's
no, I liked it. I just wasn't
or
good.
you weren't good at it. Okay,
I just
that's
wasn't
that's
good.
still
I
a
was stuck with
realization.
basketball.
Yeah, that's still a good realization. You try things. If you don't like it, you stop. If you're not good at it, which you knew, then you just stop.
Yeah.
Try new things.
That's right. That's right. My final two questions, and they kind of they put you in a different spot. So my first one, I like to ask these: is there a question that I didn't ask that you would ask yourself right now? Like, is there something I didn't ask you that you would like to ask right now? So you're the host, and you're asking yourself. Well, what's that question?
Um.
By the way, this whole next there's 3 things we're doing, and they're all putting you on the spot. So I'm just letting you know.
Okay. I mean, we kind of hit everything I would have liked to. I really wanted to hit my anxiety and depression and showing that it's not usual, but it's you're not alone in that aspect. Um, I felt alone, and I know a lot of people can feel alone and probably do feel alone, but there's a lot of people that suffer from anxiety, and it's good to feel like you're not alone, and that's what I wanted to get across when we were talking about it. So that was my main thing. On top of, I don't care about like promoting my business or anything. That's just yeah, if it happens, it happens. But I just wanted to get the story out and tell people what and why I do the things I do. But we nailed everything else that I wanted to talk about.
And I think you bring up a point. You talking about those challenges that you go through and the way you've made it through. and then also building up your business, that inspires people, because I'm
Mhm.
sure there's people our age. Wait, how old? 25, 26,
Yeah, yeah, we're the same age, I think.
24.
Yeah, and turned
Yeah.
25 this year.
Yeah, all right. So, like, I think there's people our age that go through those issues, well, not issues, sorry. They go through those challenges,
Mhm.
and they do nothing. They go with them, and you decided to pursue something you love, and to become happier, and to live your life. And I think your words and everything that you spoke about definitely inspire people, um, for
Hope
sure.
so.
So I
Hope
think,
so.
yeah, of course. So, all right. The next part is you're the host,
Mhm.
and you have a question for me.
So how
It's
since we're
Rob and
kind of
friends.
since we're kind of in the same world when it comes to like doing events and weddings, how did you start your DJ business, and how did you feel? I know you kind of mentioned it before, but how did you feel like going to that first wedding, or how did you feel going to your first gig, and kind of debating if you really wanted to do it or not? Because that's what I did. I know for a fact I went to that wedding and I was sweating.
Oh
I
yeah.
was sweating. I was like, hopefully I don't miss this. Hopefully I don't miss. I ran through 3 of my batteries. My fifth wedding, I only used one battery because I knew what I wanted to shoot.
Yeah.
But that first wedding, you're just like, the camera's always here. You don't want to eat because your stomach's going to get upset because of how much stress you're under. So, what did you feel when you did that
Well,
first wedding?
I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I still get nervous at every wedding. It's like, um, to me, like every wedding, every part of the wedding is super, including the dinner, like the
Hmm.
dinner music, like including cocktail hour. I think every part of the wedding is super important. My philosophy is, okay, let's make it through the ceremony, let's make it through the cocktail hour, and then after, it's fun time.
Hmm.
Uh, I get super nervous during ceremony and cocktail. What if a speaker goes out? What if the mic
Mm.
stops working? What
Yep.
if the music doesn't work for some odd reason? What if uh, you, you I mess up a name during the introductions? All these things, I'm not per. They run through my head every single wedding, even parties.
Hmm.
It, there's a nerve factor, um, especially if they're people that you're meeting for the first time. I mean, you get to it takes sometimes it takes a little while to get the sense. You can I do a planner, and people put songs and special songs, especially for weddings. We have plans, and they put their special songs, and I'll look at it for months, and I'm like, all right, I'm getting a country vibe from this couple.
Mm.
I'm feeling the people that love country, or I'm getting these people, this couple loves throwbacks and hip hop, and all this stuff, and it's like you get that vibe, but then once you're there, you really have to
Hmm.
absorb what the vibe really is. I get nervous at every wedding. My first wedding, I blew out my mixer. Um, I blew it out. I had the wrong settings. I was drenched. I
Hmm.
played trap music. This is like 3 years
Nice.
ago.
Hmm.
But here's the thing. They wanted it. And I'm like, I looked at my assistant, Eric, DJ Rick. Shout out DJ Rick. Um, I looked at him. I'm like, let's play this song. You think this song will work? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let's do this. And dude, it was, I used to teach, as you know, I used to teach martial arts, which ties into the story. I'm like, all right, what are songs that the people like that I play there? And I just put it on. And when I tell you, these people were out there for 4 hours, literally, it was a Sunday night, no clue what I was doing, and these people danced for 4 hours, and I'm like, this is my thing. I can,
Nice.
and I didn't even add in. I didn't talk on the mic. I didn't do nothing. I did nothing spectacular other than
Hmm.
just play songs. Um, what made me really, I held off for a little while. There were times where I'm like, all right, I'm going to teach martial arts. I'm going to run a school. I'm going to manage a school. Forget DJing. I'm done. Then there were times where I'm going to go full out DJing, or I'm going to do both. And I ended up leaning towards DJing because there was just a love there. Like I said before, the therapeutic value. I can sit there and mix for, and not even mix. I'm not even a great mixer, but I can sit there and just play music and say, all right, I think you know, this song will work well at the wedding, or what are some ways, what are some things that other DJs might not be doing? What are some things that actors do at events that I can bring to a wedding, that I can bring to an event? Um, there was times where I would leave a gig and I'd be like, even though it didn't go bad, I'd leave a gig and be like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Hmm.
I'm not feeling this. But COVID definitely, I think COVID was a learning experience for a lot of people. Financially, it taught me. Business wise, it taught me. I'm like, you know, I miss this. I love this. I love learning equipment and getting stuff and set, like, it became a thing that I love. So
Hmm.
that's that. But I still, every wedding I get nervous. It's
Yeah.
brutal.
Yeah. Especially if they're not organized, like it's going like that, like it's very.
Yeah. Yeah. And one of the things I tell the bride and groom too is just like, I'm not a strict guy. Like, if you want to do cocktail hour and it's 3 hours long and it's cocktail 3 hour, I'm cool with that.
Mhm.
I'm here at your discretion. It's your wedding. I want to make it special for you. I don't want to be like, you know, certain things you need to do scheduled, but I always, the main thing is I want to be flexible.
Mhm.
And I felt that helped with me in terms of my nerves. If I'm going up and be like, all right, guys, we got to do this now. We got to do introductions. You got to do cocktail. We got to do this now. It's taken away from their joy.
Yep.
So that's definitely, yeah, I remember my first wedding. It ended up good. It was great, but it was like,
Yeah. That's how my video went too. I was like, I hope it, like after I left and I had the audio equipment in my hand and I had my camera in my hand. I hope you captured everything. Like staring at them. I hope you got it. I don't even know. And then I just went home, plugged in my memory cards. I'm like, this looks pretty good.
yep.
And this was good for my first one. So
And I remember like staring, like you said, like my first wedding, I'm terrified. And I just remember staring for like days, like, okay, this is how you say this one's name. Is this song okay? This song's ready.
Mhm.
All right. I had everything planned out. Yeah. I'm like, I'm getting there 3 hours early just in case something goes wrong. But all those lessons now, like, I like to get there early. I like to get to the
Mhm.
gigs early just in case a wire is faulted, or I don't know, my laptop. That's one of my fears too, is my laptop going out.
Damn. Yeah.
Oh, I have an iPad. I have an iPad ready to go. Like, I will make sure I have something on there, and I'll embarrass myself. I'll look at people and be like, I'm sorry. You know, I didn't mean it. Like, I'm more than willing to embarrass myself.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that's that. It definitely taught me a lot of lessons. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. It's definitely nerve wracking though.
Yeah,
For sure.
definitely.
And the last thing I'll say is too, working with a great professional, but friendly and personable photographer. Like, I mean, we're telling photographers, okay, we're having them come out here. What's a
Mhm.
good angle for your picture? And they'll be like, all right, we'll do it in front of your speaker, or we'll do it in front of maybe your facade. That's a good look. Or we'll do it in the opposite side in front of your dance lights. Working with a good photographer, which I've worked with a lot of good photographers, great photographers, great people, even videographers using my speaker plug in to get sound. Working with that really changes that too, because that adds another comfort level as well. That definitely adds a comfort. I'm
Yep.
like, all right, this guy's in the same boat. We're all in the same.
Mhm.
We need to make this perfect tonight. Nothing's perfect, but you can try to be as close as perfect. So,
Yep.
yeah, that's my rant's over. Let's do it. Let's finish it off. We got a game. We always play a game called Name That. Let's do it.
It's time to play Name That.
That's my impression of a DMX,
Nice.
which I'm well known for. I can't wait to bring back karaoke. I know my camera's a little off right now. Something does that, but don't get annoyed. All right, it's time to play Name That Camera.
Name that camera. Okay. I can do it.
Oh yeah.
I
So
think.
so here's the name of the game. It's Name That Camera,
Mhm.
and it's 5 of the rarest cameras ever.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me pull up the descriptions real quick, because I got descriptions behind these. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna post a picture up, pull up a picture,
Mhm.
and you just have to guess what kind of camera it is. Let me take off this banner. Bam. All right, let's do it. Do you know this rock band?
No.
No, I did that. I did that with someone else.
Oh, that's not even it. I was
No,
like, wait,
that's-
what? Am I supposed to know what camera took this?
Do you know what this is?
Yeah, it's Tatum.
That's right. That's
I'm a
right.
big
Sucks.
basketball fan.
I know.
Huge
I've seen you
basketball.
play.
I need to
Sure,
come
definitely.
back. I need to get some braces for my ankles and
Yeah, you need to
really,
take it easy.
yeah.
You know it too, like not to get off topic again, but like becoming an owner, a business owner, and just doing a different craft other than something physical. The amount of effort I put into basketball, like I played last Thursday, and I'm competitive,
Hmm.
but I
Oh, I
can't
know.
go full out. Like you used to fly. I used to fly
Yeah.
and get boards and play defense.
Hmm.
But then all it takes is that one twisted ankle and you're out and you can't do things fully.
Hmm.
So
I
I
dropped a weight
completely
on my
understand.
foot, and then I was walking not the other day, but a couple months ago, and I twisted my ankle, and it's the worst it's ever hurt. So
Ugh,
between dropping a weight on my foot and then a couple months later doing that, I'm like scared to run, honestly.
I
But
feel
obviously,
it.
I need to overcome that and protect myself and get out there and do that. That's why I want to play again, because I want to mesh running with basketball, because something I love doing and love playing. So
And it's fun.
definitely
You don't
want to
even
play again.
realize it. You don't even
Yeah.
realize you're burning so many calories and getting such a good
Oh,
workout because it's
yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Especially with the group of guys that we used to play with.
Yeah.
Those guys are fun.
Well, they're back. So
All of them?
most of them, yeah, 90%
Oh,
of them.
okay.
90% of them.
Nice.
So we had a good run last week. All right, let's do it. All right, here's the oh, this is gonna be great. All right, here's the first one.
It's Alicia.
By the way, I think all of these are leashers or whatever you
Okay.
call them.
Yeah,
So
they probably are, because they're one of those brands that started off. I mean,
amazing.
it's a film camera. Do I need to know the name of it?
Oh yeah, the exact name, man. We go film.
Oh no, no, that's not. That's the
All right,
X4-11.
that is incorrect. That
I know
is it.
cameras have those weird, especially Leshes have those weird
This is
names.
a black paint MP plus Leshevit, whatever you say it,
Uh-huh.
MP combo.
See, MP, I was close.
Sure, you did. It says his description is eager to get a gorgeous black vintage rangefinder, whatever that means.
Hmm.
This is a one you should be on the lookout for. This is from 1957
Oh man.
and belonged to a private collector in France 16 years ago. Was sent to Germany for full restoration. Do you know how much that camera commands? $237,000.
Did they only make one of them? Is that why? I
That's a
feel
great
like that.
question. I
I
don't
think
know.
there's one of them.
It might
'Cause
be
they're
the only one.
talking. Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, $257,000. So, all right, you're 0 for 1. All right, next one.
I'm gonna be 0 for 5. I'm gonna tell you right now.
It's okay. I believe it. Mostly everyone is on here. All right, next one.
I know Leshes, but I don't know the names, and I don't even know if I'm saying the name right. It's either Licia or Lesia. I know that they're all pretty much going to be film cameras because they're a lot older. Elkin lens. I don't even know where to start, dude. Hold on. MP 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 Elkin.
Oh, I got lost in everything you just said just now. So I have no clue. But that is incorrect because the name is actually right on the picture. It says M&K Camara.
Oh, that's that's what it is. I thought that was the business selling the camera.
I don't know. That's what it says on here. Very authentic. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't have good sources.
Yeah,
but
check your sources.
I know. Unfortunately, I have no description for this one. So this might just be a random one. I don't know. So all right, but anyway, you're 0 for 2. Let's move on to this one.
Lesia. Oh, Somerville. Somerville. There we go. That's what it is, right? No, Lesia M6.
That is incorrect.
It says Lesia M6 on it.
Oh, it actually okay. The M6 right, so you get like a partial.
Okay.
It's called an M6 Platinum 150 Jahare Optic Limited Edition.
How am I supposed to? I don't even. If
I
I
don't know,
knew
man.
every camera.
You're the cameraman.
No, I'm modern cameras.
The description is another beautiful rare unit to be on the lookout for. It was released for the 150th anniversary of the Optical Institute of 1849. Only 150 of those cameras were produced from 1849 to 1999. And I guess they're engraved with the year that they're made. So if it was made in like 1979, it has 1979 on it. So if you're interested, you can buy for $35,000.
Perfect.
You could take
Just
it
my
right
I
within
have
the
that in
budget.
my back pocket.
Absolutely. All right. So you're like you're like half out of 3 right now.
It's
So I don't
better
know if
than I
that's a
thought I
good
was gonna do.
thing. Let's do this one.
Oh my! Is that even a camera?
I don't know what it is, but it says it is.
Let's. I'm assuming that's where the batteries go. In the bottom 2 halves.
That's not the question, Rob.
I'm just trying to analyze the double Lesha, double Lesha, double Lesha. That's my thing.
Sure, the double Lesha. That is incorrect. That's way off. This is called. This is it's pretty cool. This is called the KE7A, or M4M with the Lesh New York motor drive. So this is a military issued camera.
Oh, okay.
So
that's why it has a double battery pack.
Yeah, only 505 units were produced, and it was military issued. It made especially for the U.S. Army. And like I said, you're willing to add some more cameras to your thing. This is 121,000.
Nice.
Not too bad. That's a little bit more than 35. But
yeah, I might have to buy 4 of the other one.
Yeah, to get there. Yeah,
that's
okay. But one military one is all you need. All right, we got one final one. It's a pretty nice one.
Okay, it's gold. M42. Okay, Lesha M42 Gold Edition.
That is correct, man.
Let's go.
Right.
Let's go. Process of elimination.
Yeah, 2.5 out of 5.
That's half.
1.5
out of 5.
Yeah,
1.5.
1.5 out of 5. I'm giving you credit because you did terrible before, but it's called a 24 karat gold M42. So it says original factory warranty. Okay, no one cares about that. This was special edition, was made in 1979. Only 1,000 of these were made. They're engraved with the years, so I guess that's just a common thing. Is that a common thing? Is that what cameras, they engrave them?
The old ones. I think Lesha does it. Like my Sony doesn't have their year on it.
Gotcha. This was not bad. This is worth only $6,000.
The gold one is the least expensive one.
We spotted on this website, the fullblographer.com. Says we spotted a secondhand mint gold Lesha M42 for $6,080.
I'm about to sell all my Pokemon stuff and invest in cameras, old cameras.
And sell them secondhand. And then you could do like a podcast called the Camera Lectors. Cam Lectors.
Yeah.
All right. So you end with a whopping score. And I got to add some sound effects to this part of the game. But you end with a whopping score of 1.5 out of 5, which is like 25%. So it's actually you're towards the top of the leaderboard. Yeah. You're towards the top.
That's way better than I thought I was going to do.
My last guest, Hank, guessed all 5 peanut butters, types of butter, nut butter. Correct. Like you got walnut butter. I even threw butter pecan ice cream, and he got it right. He was like, "That's ice cream, not So so not too bad. But anyway, that has been Name That.
It's time to play Name That.
All right, Rob. Anything that you'd like to say before we end?
I'd just like to reiterate, if you're young and you're trying to figure out what you want to do, don't try to listen to yourself more than anyone. You can take other people's advice into consideration when making decisions, but at the end of the day, it's your life, and you got to do what you think is best. And it takes a long time to figure that out, a long time to develop that confidence and everything. But you got to do what you want to do, and you can't let anyone else tell you that maybe you should go in this direction or that direction, or it's not good enough or anything. Find out what you want to do. Try things that you don't like, just so you don't like them. Try things that you've never tried before, so maybe you figure out if you like them or not. And try to figure out your passion and go for it. Don't listen to anyone else.
Rob, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
I definitely had a blast. You can check him out at Instagram at RFS Visuals and Facebook RFS Visuals. And then we also got his podcast, The Collectors.
Yep.
About Pokemon, all these different kinds of things. It's definitely entertaining. It's fun. Maybe we could do a crossover podcast of you talking about that and me just sitting there and saying, yeah.
Yep.
Cool. I'll trade you. I don't know. I got some Burt's Bees I can trade you. Or I got cards. I got records. You can talk about records.
Oh, records are cool. Yeah.
My record collection. How about that? I collect something.
Yeah.
So what would that would be? That would be like the Volectors.
We could do creative collector. Creative collector. You're a creative collector. Just collect something else.
That's true. So we can definitely do that. Again, Rob, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, you can check this out on YouTube at MJR and Friends, part of the MJR podcast family. We have a new logo coming out for that as well. I want to shout out Javier Ortiz. He put together a new logo for the whole podcast family. Meet Up with Mila, the Dab podcast. So you can check that out. What else? YouTube. I already said that. You can check out the website, mjrentertainment.com for my DJ services. But you can also check out mjrentertainment.com/MJR podcast family. For more details, this will be on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, everything. So, Rob, thank you so much again. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to working with you.
Yep, same do I.
So,
yep.
All right, guys. Word to Big Bird. Peace out.
Avoid legal snags by telling people they're being recorded. You are being recorded.
And literally, when I tell you 3 days, I'm just.
So long to do something like
Go. I would tell that person to just do it.